Hey guys, this is Miss Chris. I'm back. Today I want to talk to you about flight, fight, or freeze, post-traumatic stress syndrome. As you well know, that I was in a little mini fender bender a couple of weeks ago. And maybe like a week or so afterwards, my son gets sick, he gets ill, he gets the chills, he doesn't feel well, and then simultaneously, I get sick as well. And I had the chills, I swear to you, it must have been 7, 8, 9, 10 days, off and on, day and night. Come to find out that it was my body trying to purge the energy, the constricted energy from the incident. Although it wasn't a bad car accident, it was a car accident nonetheless, and it was still traumatizing. And so my body held in all this constricted energy, and it was going to cause trauma. And we all know about trauma. Trauma is something that happens out of our ordinary experiences that causes long-term anger, rage, irritability, sleepless nights. You know, if you've been in a car accident or if you've been a rape victim, again, foster care kids have 3 times the amount of post-traumatic stress than Army veterans, than wartime veterans. That is a tremendous amount of trauma still caught in the body. And a lot of times, most times they tell us that, oh, trauma, you're going to have trauma for the rest of your life, or you're going to be traumatized and you're just going to have to learn to deal with it. They give you pills and, you go through therapy and you just have to learn to live with the symptoms of, the rage and the anger and the helplessness and the promiscuity and the hypervigilance. But believe it or not, trauma can be released from the body. Trauma can be healed. And they don't tell you that. So it's all about energy. It's all about energy. And once you realize that you can release this constricted energy from your body and release the symptoms that it causes, also known as pathologies, you can begin to heal your mind and your body. Now, in trauma, you look at the animal kingdom, because we're all animals as well. You look at the animal kingdom and you see like zebras, they're being hunted pretty much all day, hunted pretty much all day, every day. And you wonder why, well, why they're not, traumatized. Why aren't they sitting in the bush like, oh, I'm not going to go out, the lion's going to get me. No, I'm not going to go. They don't feel helpless. They don't feel angry. They don't have rage. What is it that they're doing that we are not? How is it that they're supposed to be so simple and so basic and beneath us, but yet we're always traumatized by one thing or another, and they can just go about their daily, grazing on the grass and, looking around and, being zebras or antelopes or gazelles or elks or whatever else, out in the wild. And, why don't they get traumatized? The reason why animals do not get traumatized is because they rely on their instincts, which is the reptilian part of the reptilian brain, which is back here. And their neocortex, which is the front part of the brain, does not override their instincts. I don't think they even have a neocortex, or a very small one. Our neocortex overrides our instincts. And because it overrides our instincts, we rationalize our experiences. Oh no, I'll be fine after a traumatic experience. Oh no, it was good. I'll be all right. I'm not feeling irritable. I'm not feeling angry. I'm not feeling rageful. I'm not feeling like I want to fight. And that causes the constricted energy in our bodies. And that's the difference. When animals, get chased down or almost chased down by a lion, they either flight, as you see them take off. They fight. They kick back. They kick. They bite. They call out to their other herd members, and they come and fight off the predator, or they freeze. Now, you see a lot of freezing in movies where you see a girl and the guy is coming with the chainsaw, he's coming with the machete, and you're like, oh my God, run! Why are you still standing there? Move! Do something. That's part of the fight or flight or freeze. Now, it depends on the person's brain. You'll never know what you're going to do in a situation. If you're in a flood or if you're in a fire, you'll never know if you're just going to be like, I can't move, or you're going to be proactive. You never know, because it depends on the person's makeup. Now, this immobility, this freezing, a lot of us don't want to experience it. Now, let me tell you the reasons why. Because it imitates death. To us, we want to avoid death. We don't want anything to do with death. And when you're just frozen and you can't move and you see something coming at you but you can't respond, that's like dying. But with animals, animals they embrace it, and it also acts as a mechanism to minimize pain. You ever notice when you watch Animal Kingdom and you see a zebra attacked by a lion and they just munching and crunching, and the zebra's just laying there taking it all, and you never hear them crying out. You never, every now and then they might kick, but nothing real dramatic to get them away from the situation, because that's the brain's way of minimizing pain for the impending death. And again, immobility and freezing, it's like a little death. Now, when we don't fight or flight, and this immobilizing, freezing, it constricts the energy, and that's where we get congested. That's where the energy stops moving and we hold it in. Now, how you go into the immobility response is how you come out. You ever see in movies like soldiers, sometimes they go into the hospital and they're flapping against the people and they're fighting, or you see a car accident victim, the people are trying to help them and they're take the masks off and they're fighting the people that are trying to help them. That's part of that fight, flight, or freezing. Their body is trying to release the energy, and their mind is trying to calibrate what's going on. And if that energy is not released, it's going to cause the just lost my train of thought. It's going to cause them symptoms. The anger, the rage, the disassociation. Disassociation is when you're in denial. Oh yeah, everything's fine. I'm good. Yeah, I was in this fire, or I was in this really bad car accident, or I was a rape victim, but no, I'll be okay. And they suppress it. That's like a form of disassociation. And the more you disassociate, the more you constrict, meaning that the heart, your muscles tense up, and you try to deal with it, and you stuff it deep down inside. The more you repress the anger, the more you repress that rage, the more traumatized your mind and your brain becomes. And that's why they say, oh, you can't really heal trauma because it's going on for years and years and years and years. When technically, what we need to do is we need to feel the feelings. Now I know you're saying, okay, that's all we need to do is feel the feelings. Yes, that's really pretty much one of the ways that we can heal trauma, is to feel the feelings. Go back and say, okay, what did I notice when this happened? What did I see? What did I hear? How was I feeling? Tune into your senses. Go beyond that. How's the environment? Did I feel impending doom? Did I feel something was going to happen? Was it really quiet? Did it smell different? Did the environment smell different? That's how you bring up all that constricted energy. And then once you get into your feelings, into your senses, then your body might actually start to feel some physicality. You might get really hot. You might have chills. Like my son and I, we had chills. We got sick, especially me. I had chills, and I even told you guys that, when I was driving my car, I had a little, I felt a little nervous, and, I felt a little post-traumatic come up. Same thing after my parents died. I disassociated a lot. I have friends telling me, there were certain foods that I liked that I don't even remember liking. There were certain things that I did with them that I don't even remember doing. Certain places that we went, I don't remember. Why? Because I had disassociated. I was like, nope, this experience is a little bit too much for me. I was just going through the motions of living. And I think I did that for like 10 years. I think I disassociated for 10, until this day, 30 some odd years later, I do not remember a lot. I don't remember the time from when my aunt told me that my mother had died up until her funeral. I don't remember that whole week. I just remember getting the phone call, and I remember going to the funeral. I don't remember what happened after the funeral. And I don't remember anything immediately after that. I remember like events. Like, oh, I remember this song. This is back in 1980, blah, 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 blah. Or I remember, oh yeah, I went to Great Adventure, this is back in 1992. I remember like major events, but I don't remember like situations, like main situations. Why? Because I was traumatized, and that's how my brain, use it as a circuit breaker to disassociate. I also went through the anger, I went through the whole rage, I went through feeling helpless. That's a lot that foster care kids go through, feeling helpless and powerless. So back to healing the trauma. After you figure out what your senses are doing, then you just allow the feelings to come up. You allow the energy to move again, because again, it's constricted, frozen energy, and you might start feeling hot, you might start feeling cold, you might have the chills. Allow your body to go through that, because if you look at the animals, if they escape the predator, you notice that they might every now and then you see them like shake a leg, or they might shake their head, or they might shake their body. That's their body's way of releasing all that hypervigilance, all that adrenaline that was built up in the body to escape the predator. And we have to do the same thing. But we as humans, we allow our neocortex and our rational mind to overcome and to over rationalize our instincts. And that's why we remain sick. So that's it for this video. I just want to talk about trauma, fight, flight, or freeze, post-traumatic stress disorder. Please comment, rate, subscribe, and like this video. Until next time, remember to be the hero of your own journey. Peace.